Hi Year 4, Mrs Fitzgerald here. We're doing our third lesson for the term. So we'll start by going back over the work that you would have done yesterday based on our book work, and I'll just bring that up. Okay, so here's the work that you would have done yesterday or last term if you were doing it then. And what we have got here is our working out. So we started off with 155 minus 30, and you needed to break that down into its tens. And then 155 minus 30, the answer is 125. 125 minus 5, because now we're taking away the ones, and that gives us 120. And we've split that down into a minus 4, so that we were only working with the whole numbers there. And then going the other way, we've got 39 plus how many to make 61? Sorry, how many to make 100 is 61. Then 155, we're adding 55 there. So 61, adding these two numbers together, 61 plus 55 is 116. So two different ways of doing the same problem, depending on which way you prefer. Okay, now if we've got the gift card at $145 and the bowl is $19, first of all, we could estimate, so round the bowl up to $20, and then 145 minus 20 would be 125. So we would know that it needs to be close to around that. And there's several ways you could have worked that out. The answer should be 126. Okay. And now we have got 185, take away 58, and I'll go through those answers just quickly because there's a different, you could have used several different methods, and I won't go through each of those. So the answer to 2A is 127, 2B is 123, 2C is 129, 2D is 120, 2E is $108, and 2F is $132. Okay, for our step ahead, Gianna had $125. She bought some of these items. She now has $46 left. Which items did she buy? She may have bought more than one of each item. Okay, so there are lots of ways that you could have worked this out. Our answers are that she could have bought 2 DVDs at $30 or 1 DV set for $49. Okay, let's start our new section of work. We're going to be looking today at how to set these problems up into a formal structure, an algorithm it's called. And we'll just start by having a quick look at our numbers. So remember that when we have got our number, we've got 457 here. And because they are in columns, it's really important that we remember place value, okay? So that if we have got numbers in this column, that represents the ones. If we have got numbers in the middle column, that represents tens. And if we've got them in the first column, it represents hundreds. And as we move through those numbers, we must always remember that if we have got 5 in the tens column, that isn't really 5 things, it's 5 groups of 10, so that we've actually got 50 there. And that's an important thing for us to remember as we go through into our next exercise. Okay, let's have a look at these numbers. We have got $85 and $43, and we want to take one away from the other. So we take the smallest one away from the bigger one, and I'm just going to go through that quickly. 85, we would take away our 3 first. 80, so 5 minus 3 is 2, and 8 minus 4 is 4. So the answer would be 42. On our next one, taking away our smaller number from the bigger number. 67 take away 5 is 62, and 62 take away 30 is 32. And our last one, even working with bigger numbers, and this is where we need to use formal algorithm before we use our mental strategies. So we would have 578 minus 6 is 572. 572 minus 30 would be 542. And 542 minus 200 would be 342. Okay, I was trying to remember too many numbers in my head. All right, let's move on. Okay, and what that would look like on our number line is that we would start here at 85 and we're taking away 43. So we're doing 4 jumps of 10, 85 to 75, 65, 55 and 45. And then at 45 we're taking 3 small steps to get to 42. So that was minus 40. And this was minus 3. Okay, so that's 2 ways of thinking about it. And let's now have a look at this problem. First of all, we can estimate what's the difference between the prices of these 2 guitars. Well, let's just call them 680 and 520. Okay, the difference between 600 and 500 is 100, and the difference between 8 and 2 is 6. So maybe around $160. And we work that out just by rounding those numbers and then quickly taking them away. Okay, that gives us an estimate, but if we want to work out the exact amount, we need to use one of these. Now, this is exactly like when we have our frames with our MAB blocks in them, our hundreds, tens and ones. So we're putting these numbers from the guitars. So our first number, we go back, was 685. So that goes in the top there, 685 in the columns. Now we've got a hundreds column, a tens column and a ones column, and each of those digits goes into the column. And then we're just going to subtract the other number from using each one at a time. And later on we'll get much better at doing this, so we won't have to do it in so many steps, but let's just do it in steps now so that we really understand what we're doing. So 5 take away 3 is 2. So we're left with 682. Then we're going to take away the 20, okay, which is this 20 here, the tens, 2 groups of 10. So there's our 20. So 682 take away 20 is 662. And then here's our 500s from the other guitar, 500. So now we're up to taking that away. So 662 take away 500 is 162. So we were pretty close in our guess, in our estimate. Okay, and here's the same problem being done a different way. Ello and Tyler did it a different way. This one started with the 500 and took away the 500 to get it to 185. Then Tyler took away the 20 to get it to 165, and then they took away the 3. Still getting the same answer. Okay, so this time when we look at what that looks like, I just want to show you in our workbooks. Okay, so we've got that working out shown down here. All right, you could use this one here to have a try. And what I'm just going to do, I've set up my whiteboard to start off with this one. So 478, take away 136. And I'm just going to change the share to the whiteboard. Okay, so there's our 478, and now we're taking away 136. Okay, so let's start by taking away 8 minus 6 will be 2. And we've still got our 4 and 7 here. Then we take away our 30. So 72 minus 30 will be 42. We've still got our 400 over here. And now we're going to take away the 100 here. So 400 minus 100 is 300. And then we've got our 4 and our 2. So the answer to 478 minus 136 is 342. Okay, that's the first problem done for you in the top of your book. So now you go ahead and see if you can do the same thing with the other problems, and we'll check it tomorrow. Bye, everyone.